Welcome back to JB Reviews. I just left Flying J's. In the last video I did on this truck, I got this truck and trailer weighed so we could see if we were at or over or well below our payload. And now today we're going to do that 6% climb. Now I did a video with a Ford 7.3 same day. It's 103 degrees. Let me say that one more time. It's 103 stinking degrees outside. I just reset the fuel economy numbers here for the trip one. So we're gonna see how this truck's gonna do. I'm super excited. Let's see if it can hold its own against that Ford. You ready? Here we go. Here's a question that a lot of people ask me. Do I recommend aftermarket wheels and tires? After the last video that I did, heck no. I'm just being honest. The Ford 7.3 did have some more aggressive wheels and tires, so that probably was going to affect the fuel economy a little bit. But when you have those really aggressive offsets, I feel as though that might contribute to some of that sway that I felt. Now, I think the other factor was those cheap tires. The Kenda off-road tires, they were really soft, and I feel like I got a lot of sway on that ride. Now this truck has the upgraded 20-inch wheels and tires from another Chevy truck, but they're the 20-inch, has the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs. They're great tires. I mean, when Chevy redesigned the HDs for 2020 plus, these trucks got a lot bigger. Like the wheelbase is bigger and it's a heavier truck, and I feel as though it tows probably as good as the competition. Now again, every truck is a little different with GMs because of these independent front suspensions. I've said this many times. And I hear some noise on the roof or something like that, but I don't know what it is. I have to check it later. But yeah, this truck definitely does feel pretty confident. Now the first thing I want to talk about is this. I'm at 2,000 RPM. This is a 6-speed, right? It's pretty loud inside the interior. This truck has a 373 rear end, and it's basically the same as that Ford. So in that case, it's pretty much apples to apples. Now you can get lower gearings on the Ford. You cannot with this truck. So we should be to the grade in probably about 10 minutes. So I will check back in, but let's kind of go through some of the stuff we see here on the speedometer. The very first thing you're gonna notice, watch this. So I just let it shift up. I'm probably like in 6th gear. Now I'm just gonna give it 20% throttle, watch this. The beauty of having that 10-speed is having the steps. The steps are so much closer. Now, I will say, when you're in these higher gears, that step wasn't too bad, but I feel as though it needs more power, right? So it does need to downshift a lot more. So again, now here's wide open throttle. So that's probably actually 2nd or 3rd gear. But yeah, this truck definitely does feel a little bit more sluggish in comparison with the Ford. The Ford just seems like it had way more power, way more get up and go. And it's probably in part to having the closer steps and having lower gearing. I mean, the gears in that transmission are a lot deeper, even compared to GM's 10-speed too, right? So you just have to keep that in mind. Now, as far as the temperatures go, GM does not like to show you everything. So they do have your transmission temperature right there. So we're at 203, and the same spot with that Ford, we were at like 219 degrees. So it seems as though the 6-speed does run a little bit cooler. Now, hopefully in the future, I'll have a chance to redo these tests with a 2023 Ford Super Duty Plus and a Chevy with the 10-speed again. I mean, I owned one, but I would like to do this same test with this trailer, you know, and just kind of get some perspectives on a comparison side by side. So here's where having more power comes into play. I was going about 30 miles an hour behind this truck. grade and I don't have enough power to get around them, because then I'm gonna hold up traffic and I don't wanna do that. So that's where the diesel always comes into play for me. Like when you live high above elevation like this, 4,700 feet above, this is where you really wanna consider a diesel. Even with towing just at 9,500 pounds, right? That's where this truck suffers at. I mean, it's just not enough power. Wide open throttle. It does downshift strong, and the truck has great stability. I mean, even with it being a gas truck, it is a little bit lighter. But I'm going downhill right now. That's why I was able to accelerate so great, is because I'm going downhill. But wait till we get up this grade here. You'll see what I'm talking about. You know, the Ford was able to maintain 60 and get up to about 65. I would be surprised if this truck can get to 60. So we'll start around 50 miles an hour, because that's about what I did with the Ford anyways. But yeah, you're screaming a lot more, and that's another irritation with the gas HD. They just need to give these trucks more power. I mean, that way these trucks don't need to work as hard. I mean, I feel as though just to maintain its speed, it's at max right now. So 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque is really good numbers for today's standards, but it just seems like it's lacking. Unfortunately, there's a lot of traffic, so I got to get off. I don't really have the time, unfortunately, to wait in this. So let's see if I can either go around it, or I don't know. Actually, you know what? I might have made the right choice. It looks like someone just got in an accident. One thing I love about Utah is you will be humbled and very, very content, because people suck at life at driving out here. I'm not trying to be mean, but I've already confirmed this with everyone that lives here. Everyone has told me, no, it is absolutely Utah. People suck at driving out here, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but yeah, this is just something that you're gonna deal with if you come out this way. But I'm at wide open throttle. Come on, baby. Let's get it going. That's all I got. It's not looking good. I'm just kidding. The truck's doing good. I'm just kind of being mean right now because the Ford impressed me, and I'm wanting Chevy to really change the ratings for this engine. I know this engine can handle a lot more. I bet you they can get up to 500 horsepower if they wanted to. But yeah, we're still going up a grade here. I got to get over again because there's a truck going really slow. They do give you the extra clicks too. Oh, good job. Look, I spoke too soon. See, when you get in the broadband. Wow. Now we're not really going up a grade anymore. But when we get closer, I will turn the camera back on so you guys can see when we get to the start of that big one here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna drop down about 55 miles an hour because that's about where I started at with that Ford. Okay, so that's the big boy here. So you ready? Let's go. Wide open throttle. Not bad. Oof. I think I'm losing a little bit of speed there. Not much. I'm losing speed. There it is. It found the gear. Good job. Yeah, it needs another gear right there. So this is where that 10 speed really does come out and play. I'm losing speed though. Like, you guys hear where I'm at? I'm wide open throttle and I have to slow down because there's a truck up here. That sucks. So again, I'm not trying to be a diesel fanboy now, but these are the examples of having a diesel, or just where the manufacturers just need to do a better job, you know, making these gas engines a little bit more efficient. But yeah, guys, I'm losing speed. I'm at 50 now, right? Yeah, it's 50 miles an hour. I gotta get back over just so I don't slow down the truck behind me. I can't wait to do this test again with the 10-speed. Now, when I use my 10-speed transmission, I didn't lose speed. So, despite this truck having the same power as the 2024s, the 10-speed does make a difference, guys. I'm about going 40 miles an hour, actually. Wow. Great. I'm glad. I'm a little disappointed, you know. I was hoping it would do a little bit better than this, but I don't think I've ever lost speed before. I don't think I've ever lost speed doing any of my tests, because this is like maybe my third or fourth time on this grade, but mostly I've done diesels. But yeah, this is, yeah, I'm at 40 miles an hour. And we're pretty much done at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. But now we're back at the top, so now downshifted, and now I have more speed, but it doesn't matter. We're pretty much done here. You guys ready to see these temperatures? Let's see if I can get under there good. Right there. Oh, about 180, which was the same as the Ford, actually. Tire, 113. Front tires, these are actually a little bit cooler. Brakes are great too. Let's pop the hood. Alrighty, let's start on this side. Showing about 261. See if I can get that head. Okay. 173 headers. That's shocking. Hold on. If you watched my Ford video, the Ford was at like 600 degrees. And I'm doing it in the exact same spot, guys. I'm at like 300, so it's like half the temperature under the hood. Interesting. And in case you want to see the tires here, they're always warmer on the trailer. All right, let's go down this grade. It will obviously get you up the grade. You're only gonna be going like 40 miles an hour, but it got us up the grade. Now let's see if it can redeem itself going down. Now the Ford did not give me any downshifts. I had to do it manually right out of the gate, and I knew that because Ford's 10 speeds just don't like to downshift, even in tow haul mode. And when you're begging and pleading it to, it won't do it. Now, when you tap the brakes, you hear that? You hear that? This is way better than even my 10 speed on my Chevy for 2024 when I had the L8T. The 10 speed in that didn't really like the downshift either. I don't know why the computers can't learn, hey, when you're, or even if it has like a device, like if it can show like the angle. Actually they do, they have that off-road page in here. It should be able to use that. Let me see if it shows. Yeah, it shows that we're at a 2-degree angle. It should just say, hey, start downshifting transmission. This truck's doing it. I'm just saying for the 10 speed, it's almost like they should just add that in there. Now I almost wonder, see, I'm going 70 miles an hour, way faster than I was doing at Ford, not because the Ford doesn't have good control, but because the tires and the wheels on there. But yeah, this truck, it downshifts confidently. This is a really good transmission going downhill. As I always say, I like speed, I do, but I rather stop. When it comes down to towing, It's not about how fast you can go, it's how fast you can stop. Because I'm serious when I say this. There have been times where I've needed the exhaust brake on my Ram Cummins to work. And if it didn't work, I probably would have gotten an accident, you know? So I do like the 6-speed in regards to the downshift. It's really good. This truck handles really well. Even with the independent front suspension, I've noticed that sometimes on these trucks, sometimes the steering feel is really loose. This one is actually moderately tight. And you guys can hear it. I'm still in a lower gear, excuse me. Let's see if it downshifts again. It should do it right now. Nope. Nope, it won't do it. It's okay though. At least you know when you tap the brakes, it downshifts for you. And that's the advantage of having the 6-speed transmission, guys. But let's go ahead and do the 0 to 60, and that will pretty much end this video. I'm moving way too fast, guys. I'm at 5.3 MPG. Forgot to show that to you guys. And then the transmission is at 216. So it got up to about 219. The Ford at its highest was at 223. So the transmission does pretty much mirror the temperature. I mean, that's not too far off, I guess. I mean, it's about the same. But yeah, I wish that these manufacturers back then gave you more view of like temperatures with numbers, like for like the transmission, the engine, the coolant. I like to see all that stuff. Come on, Chevy, for 2025, give it to us. Here we go. .3 MPG, 36.3 miles driven. I would say that for a gas truck, it wouldn't be a bad idea to switch if you don't need the diesel. Believe it or not, this truck beat out the Ford 7.3, but that's not really a surprise. I've shown a few videos where the 6.6 liter is just a little bit more efficient compared to that engine. Now, with that being said, this truck definitely needs more power. And thankfully, you now have a 10-speed, but if they added 50 more horsepower, I think that would be enough. But you have to remember, every 1,000 feet you go up in elevation is about 3% loss on your horsepower. So that's what you kind of saw today. I think if we were at sea level, it would have performed a lot better. One of my friends, he'll probably chime in. He has this exact truck, just different trim level. I think he has an L8T. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what Chevy does in the future with their gas engine. And I don't know why the manufacturers don't make it available for a supercharger. Toyota did that with the Tundra's 5.7. I mean, it don't have to be crazy. If they did like a couple 100 horsepower extra, you know, that wouldn't be bad. But I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. See you guys soon.